of the big bad wolf. Big bad wolf, big bad wolf. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf?
World War II, taking a stand against the movie industry. Propaganda is information used to publicize a particular political cause. Prior to World War II, the Roaring Twenties and the Great Depression had a great influence on the American public. Movies introduced to the American public in the 1920s were a popular pastime. Tell It to the Marines, Flash and the Devil, What Price Glory and Wings were all cinematic movies. However, none of them included propaganda. The 1930s began to slowly incorporate propaganda to movies, yet was rarely appreciated due to the emission prices and economic crisis. World War II, a devastating occurrence, demonstrated national and worldly powers, yet the United States found a temporary comfort by the works of comedic geniuses such as Walt Disney and other prospective actors. Walt Disney once said, "Laughter is America's most important export." Walt Disney introduced renowned propaganda to the movie industry for Americans during World War II in an effort to leave his audience with an easy mind on the progressing war. Disney took a stand against the movie industry by succeeding in a role to avoid government discretion as well as to tippy-toe around the media, which had included newspapers and report broadcasts on television. The average movie ticket cost around 25 cents, which was far less than a household television that cost around $400. And so, Walt Disney built his empire by directing propaganda movies, targeting the public and allowing for momentary laughter to be swept across a nation fighting a hard war. Popular films directed by Walt Disney were screened across American theaters.
Wenn der Führer says, wie ist der Master Race? The Heil, Heil, right in the Führer's face. Not to love the Führer is a great disgrace. So the Heil, Heil, right in the Führer's face.
Donald Duck versus the Nazis. This 8-minute clip includes the well-known cartoon character Donald Duck as a Nazi. This satirical take on the Nazis allows American audiences to laugh at Donald Duck's struggles in the mindset of a Nazi.
Commando Duck, here are your orders.
Commando Duck, Donald Duck versus the Japanese. This short cartoon depicts the Japanese as barbaric in order to spread awareness that the Japanese had bombed Pearl Harbor. Donald Duck spends the war fighting against the Japanese, whose main target is the back.
It's better than it's ever been before. The bugler blows, I can't get 'em up at 7:15. But if you're tired, stay right there and sleep until 11.
Donald Duck gets drafted. Donald Duck is a soldier in this 8-minute clip. He's drafted into war and pictured fighting against the Japanese. Creators of Looney Tunes, Tex Avery, and Bon Clampett engaged in propaganda of World War II, following Walt Disney's path to spread laughter and take a stand against the norms of the movie industry. Daffy Duck versus Adolf Hitler. This clip demonstrates American elite military powers by portraying Daffy Duck as an American soldier who has slipped through Germany's security and exploited his abilities as a top-tier spy.
Millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair.
Charlie Chaplin was a renowned actor during World War II. His silent films were unique and hilarious as his popularity grew throughout America. Propaganda was used in his silent films to guide Americans to agree with his perspective on war.
Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you,
Charlie Chaplin, final speech from the great dictator.
Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men.
In this clip, Charlie Chaplin composes himself as a dictator for the movie. This is propaganda because it creates a tense atmosphere around dictators, especially because Charlie Chaplin represented Adolf Hitler. During World War II, propaganda was not considered a social norm until the famous works of Walt Disney, Tex Avery, Bob Clampett, and Charlie Chaplin, who began to discuss the unspeakable topics of war. The media and mainstream industry at the time had frowned upon such movies that broke the chains of what was considered normal cinematography, and thus began taking a stand against the movie industry.
Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!
He don't take no time to play, time to play, time to play. All he does is work all day.
You ought not to sing and dance while there's danger all about. You should get your houses wolf-proof. Bricks like these will keep him out.